she had to have her own lunch stored. Let's see, taping lectures, oral tests. Again, instead of making them do paper pencil, some kids do better if they're verbally able to answer questions. This is another thing we did for my daughter, delaying formal district-wide testing. So I did not want any testing to take place while she was off of her thyroid medication and until her levels were stabilized and she felt pretty decent. Provide for rest time during the day. If she was too tired, allow her to drink water at school, which is what we did. We had a water bottle for her. I think that's pretty standard for a lot of kids today at school. We also had her have snacks as appropriate. Low iodine snacks, you know, before her scan, but then after she had her scan and she was kind of getting back to normal, her energy level was also low for about that next week or so. So she was able to have snacks at school. Waive penalties regarding absenteeism and tardiness, which I think they did. I did get a letter, though, from the assistant principal when she was in middle school going through a scan stating that, you know, your child should be in school. You should value your child's education. They really shouldn't be absent this long. And so I, you know, kind of took offense to that and called them and said, my daughter had cancer. She's needing to go through scans. This is what's going on. And again, I think most teachers are really good, but the assistant principal really didn't have a whole lot of empathy at that time. So I kind of wrote a rebuttal letter to her and said, explaining what was going on with Alyssa, and said, please keep this in my daughter's file. It probably did nothing, but it made me feel better in doing it. Shortened school day while undergoing treatment and medication adjustment. My daughter got to the point where she could just go in the morning and did not attend in the afternoon for the last few days before her scan. Have one contact person at school to help with collection of assignments. Again, I'm not sure that has to be the case anymore, just because things can be sent electronically. With us, it was a school nurse who used to do most of it. Slow return back to school after treatment. I know after my daughter's scan, they put her on some Cytomel, basically to kind of get her engine started up again, to get her more back to normal quicker. Access to recorded lectures. Again, I think a lot of them have this, you know, and in the advent, you know, with the start of COVID, some good things did happen out of that. I know we had a lot of things virtually that we did in a lot of Zoom sessions. So, I mean, with a child now, if they can't go to school, possibly the teacher could Zoom them in from home, so they could still be a part of that classroom instruction. But don't add accommodations if they aren't necessary. Again, I know teachers have enough to deal with so many kids. So don't just add them in because you think they're nice. Add them in because they're actually needed, because it could impede their independence. I know you want to maintain some sense of normalcy when your child's going through this, as do the teachers. You don't want to waste teachers' time doing unneeded accommodations. And it's more difficult for teachers to remember several accommodations. So if you hit the important highlights that the student really needs, I think the teachers are more likely to comply with fidelity and remember those. I love how people understand that thyroid disease is a life-altering chronic illness, said no thyroid patient ever. So I think that happens to a lot of us, a lot of our children. Because if you can't see it on the outside, it's hard to understand what kids are going through on the inside. Section 504 accommodations plan and IHP examples are here. Again, I do have examples of these. See if it pops up here. I think it's popping up. So this is ours, what we use in my county in Iowa. It has a whole list of areas of concern, collecting other additional information, eligibility statement, basically what major life activity is being substantially limited due to the disability. Does it have an impact on their ability to receive equal access and benefit from school services? So it has a whole litany of questions here. Area of difficulty, what accommodations are we going to do? Who's responsible for those? And then progress assessment at date of review. So again, if you'd like a copy of that, I could give you a copy of my presentation and you would have access to that. Here is an example of a health plan. I live in Dubuque, Iowa. So, and my daughter's name's Alyssa. So this was kind of a copy, hopefully you can all see it, of her health plan. So thyroid cancer, the diagnosis, again, we used the physician, the endocrinologist information too. And also we had a list of goals and interventions and who was going to do them and what outcomes that we wanted. So again, I am happy to share this with you if you need some kind of example to take to your district to show them. As a parent, you have the right to file a complaint with your school district, Section 504 coordinator. We have an equity officer here in Dubuque that you can file a complaint with if you think that your district is not in compliance with the 504 legislation. So they would be able to do that. Okay, again, not every disability is visible. I really like this slide because our kids could be feeling so tired, anxious, depressed on the inside, but teachers don't see that. It's not like they're in a wheelchair and you can see they have a disability. A lot of our kids, their disability may be invisible. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I can take time now if you have any follow-up questions, comments. We have a few minutes left. And Thomas, maybe you could help with those if anybody has any questions. I'm looking at the chat. And I don't see any questions there. So I'll hang on here for a couple more minutes in case anybody wants to talk or has questions.
Hi, my name is Megan. I just want to ask how I can get a copy. What do I need to send you to get a copy of the slides?
Yeah. I'm not sure, and I don't know if anybody can answer this, if ThyCa has a place on their site, but if you want to email me, send me a message, I can definitely send you a copy. And my email is ThyCa Kids 33 @gmail.com.
Thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if anybody wants a copy of that, just email me again, ThyCaKids 33 @gmail.com. And I'm happy to send you a copy of the PowerPoint. And then you would have access to the links in there with the information and with the examples.
I'm the one that actually emailed you on the 13th, and you emailed me back about joining the caregiver support group. So
yes, good.
Nice to meet you in the the next meeting.
Yes, nice to meet you, Megan. Yeah, great. Yeah, I hope you can join us next time.
Yes, absolutely. She'll actually be going through RAI at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you know about the low iodine diet?
Yes, Becky has been wonderful.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. And I know you probably know at ThyCa.org.
Yes.
We have a cookbook. We use that a lot.
I have the physical cookbook and I downloaded the, not really,
yes.
but I have where I can go straight to the web-based app. So yes, it's been great. Thanks.
Yep. Our LID cookbook, our site, it's all reviewed by medical advisors who have been, again, studying this for years. We have the experts who have looked it over. So, I would encourage people to go to the ThyCa.org website to look at the LID. And, there are a lot of things you can have. It just takes preparation. For me, I would make big batches of things and then, like a casserole or something, and then put it in the freezer.
Did you have a casserole that your daughter liked?
Yeah, it was hard. We ate a lot of casseroles. I made them with like potatoes because we could have those, but you couldn't have the skins off of them.
Yes.
And then you have to really look at the ingredients, like when you put butter in it, the no salt, I think Fleischmann's had like a margarine or something that we used. Again, this was quite a while ago. But there's certain kind of butters that you can use. And when we use the salt, I mean, it's okay to use salt as long as it's non-iodized.
Right. Right. And I have all of those ingredients, the Miyokono's unsalted plant-based butter. I have the non-salt.
Our ongoing funny, and still how many years later, my daughter still makes fun of me. I tried to make bread. I tried to make LID bread in a bread maker, and it turned out horribly every single time. So I was not good at that. I did make brownies that turned out pretty well. But yeah, the bread was a fiasco. I just could not do that.
We need gluten-free, so there are no recipes that I can find yet for gluten-free bread, but Becky gave me some suggestions, and I've been looking at King Arthur's website to maybe modify and try one of their gluten-free bread recipes and see how that goes. We'll see.
Yep. And our our LID specialist expert at ThyCa is Daria Giral.
Yes.
Yes, she can guide you through. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys are careful going through this process.
Yes. Yeah. And we did it for 2 weeks. I know in the past they'd say, well, only 1 week is needed, but 1 week is practice. So you should do it for 2 weeks. But
yeah, we're doing it actually almost 3. We started practicing this week, and then the 2 weeks will start next Tuesday or this coming Tuesday.
Yes, it's not going to hurt. And I know some people, they just have their whole family do it. Their whole family's involved with it. So, it doesn't hurt to go without iodine for, a few weeks for anybody. So, I mean, I know they have it in food. And I think when you look at the ingredients, you realize how much salt and iodine is actually in a lot of the products that we buy, which to me was kind of scary. And when I looked at labels, if it said salt, I assumed it had iodine because I'm not sure if the manufacturer used iodized salt or not. Probably they use iodized salt would be my guess.
Yes, that would.
Yeah. So you have to kind of be aware of that. So everything fresh, I say it won't hurt the whole family to be able to eat it too.
No.
So any other questions, comments? Nothing else? Okay. Well, again, email me at thycakids33@gmail.com if you would like copies of the PowerPoint, the presentation. That's THYCAKIDS 33 at gmail.com. And I'm happy to give that out to you. And also if you have any other questions, that's my email. Just feel free to email me at any time. And we also, as Megan kind of alluded to, we have a support group, a ThyCa support group for parents or caregivers whose children have had or are going through the journey of thyroid cancer. Again, you can email me at that same email, and we'd be happy to have you join us. Our group isn't real big. Like I said, we have a very strong but mighty group of parents who meet. We're very supportive. None of us are physicians or doctors or endocrinologists, but we've all been through the journey. I've been through it. It was quite a few years ago for me. A lot of other people, though, they're just kind of new on the journey. We're all at kind of different places in our lives with our kids. We talk about a variety of topics. We talk about the medication, we talk about the scans, we talk about the low iodine diet, we talk about school, and we provide support for each other. A lot of our kids have had anxiety, depression, they've lost weight, they've gained weight, and our anxiety as parents, we always talk about, if a child has a stomach ache, if they have this, is it related to the thyroid cancer? So I think a lot of times, obviously this diagnosis is pretty anxiety provoking for us as parents too. So we talk about that. We kind of talk through that. If a parent, if their child has a, thyroglobulin, score coming up, or they want to talk about that, talking about trends in that. Like I said, anything and everything. We talk about. Everybody in the group is very respectful. We're there to help each other. So again, put another plug in. If you want to join our group, again, for parents and caregivers of children who have thyroid cancer, it's ThyCaKids33@gmail.com. So, and if there's no more questions, I thank you for joining me, and I hope you really enjoy this conference. I know my daughter and I started to go to these conferences a few years ago. And we've been to about 5 or 6 over the years, and we really enjoyed them. So many different, medical professionals, and there's a conference on anxiety, depression, that I would encourage you to go to, kind of that post-traumatic stress disorder that as caregivers, as well as cancer survivors, anybody can have, and feel that they have. So again, the conference is excellent. Gary puts on, like I said, a very good 3 days of educational information. So again, I hope you find some sessions that you enjoy to watch, and have a great next 3 days. Thank you, everybody.